What's up, guys? Alexis Nunes here, back with Mark Ogden. We are talking Manchester United, Augie, because we know the financial powerhouse Manchester United is. However, given this coronavirus pandemic that we're all really feeling, especially financially, Ed Woodward has put out a statement saying that United have suffered an increase in debt as well as a massive loss in revenue. So the question is now, how is this going to affect the club and how they go about things? And this is really no surprise, isn't it, though?
It's no surprise. We've known for a while that Man United are losing between £4 and £5 million every time they play at Old Trafford without fans. So that's a fortnightly hit that they're suffering. And the numbers are big. Obviously, Man United make big numbers when they're doing well. They get great commercial deals. They spend big money on players, in normal times. So the fact that they've been hit hard by COVID tells you how big a problem it is for the game. United will be able to ride the storm because they will be able to generate, the revenue that they've always been able to do. And at some point, they'll be able to spend money on big players. But if Man United are struggling for money, and I think their debt has gone up by over 100%, then what about the clubs that are the lower leagues, the clubs that are really struggling? So this gives you an indication of how bad it is down the lower leagues. When the trickle-down economics dry up, there's no money down there. Man United will be okay, but even they're feeling the pinch, and that is the big story for me, that even a club as big and as wealthy as Man United is struggling to get through the pandemic financially.
And I'm going to bring it down now to the fans, because they're, of course, what many would say matter. And that's exactly what they will want to be knowing. Given the fact that many will have been left with a bad taste in their mouth with the whole tug of war for Jadon Sancho, how are we expecting some of these continued losses and increasing debts to affect what we see in the transfer market and effectively on the pitch?
Yeah, in many ways, Man United can't win with this one because the fans will always say we should be competing for the biggest and best players in the world. So why aren't we signing Jadon Sancho? Well, Man United will say, well, Borussia Dortmund wanted over £100 million for him. Nobody spent over £100 million in any player in the transfer window this year because of the situation. So United will say that they're being sensible and prudent with their money to avoid putting the club in trouble in the future. But the fans will also argue that the owners, the Glazer family, they take money out every year. They don't invest in the club. That they've racked up the debt, as we've seen. The debt numbers are huge. So they're not spending it on players. They're going to have it spent on debt payments. So that's what angers the fans, that the money's gone out of the club still, but it's going on interest payments rather than new signings. So United can't win that argument with the fans.
Is it as simple as once the pandemic dies down, once coronavirus is a thing of the past, the fans are all back in and Man United is never a team that's going to have to struggle for crowds? Is it just as simple as once that gets back to normal, everything will be good as gravy?
Well, for Man United, that probably is how it will be, without being kind of insensitive. United will ride the storm because they're a big, wealthy club and they can generate money. And they're having a bit of a hard time right now, but they know that so are their big rivals, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Barcelona. None of these clubs are spending money. Chelsea spent money, but let's be honest, Chelsea had a transfer ban last year. They had £100 million in the bank for Eden Hazard from Real Madrid, so they're spending that now with a bit more. So, it's been a strange summer, and United, like all of the big clubs, haven't spent money. They'll be okay on the other side. Football itself will struggle to be as okay as it was, but I think United, despite the numbers, will be okay once this situation subsides and we get back to some sort of normality.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.